everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. New breeders, my name is Kiran and in this video we are gonna be talking about the Enies Lobby Arc, which is basically in volume 39 to 44. And oh my god, what the 7 saga so far has been amazing. My mind is blown. I am a fan. I am obsessed with this series at this moment because oh my god, I love the crew. I think that I was not actually connected with the crew members the way that I am now. So yeah, the humor, it just hits better now and I just love it. Like the banter that the crew members have, it's so amazing. I love it. And the emotions in this arc, like the roller coaster of emotions that I felt during reading this arc is, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. And I can't even tell you how many times I cried while reading this. Oh my god, it made me cry so much. It made me laugh so much. And all of our characters, they have grown so much in this arc. And oh my god, Luffy. I love Luffy. I love him so much. And all of our crew members, they were so amazing. And the power-ups that they got in this arc, oh my god, so good. And to rate this particular arc, I'm gonna say it was a 5 out of 5, like 10 out of 10 or like 11 out of 10 arc because of how much I enjoyed it. And it has become my favorite so far. So love it so much. We have to bring back Robin before she actually crosses the gates of justice, which is basically this huge gate that we see when we look at the Enies lobby. So yeah, so because Robin will be like taken by Spandam to that particular gate like very soon, so it's basically like our crew is there on the sea train and they have to come up with an idea and they have to infiltrate Enies lobby and bring Robin back before she actually crosses the gates of justice. So basically it's like we have a timeline. We can't just sit around and just waste time. We have to be on the run and just, you know, bring Robin back as soon as possible, which I think is like the best part about this arc because it's a race against time and it just gives us that sort of feeling that oh my god, what's gonna happen? Will they actually be able to like stop Robin or not? So yeah, so this whole thing, right, it makes it so exciting and entertaining, and yeah, I love it so much. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Enies lobby island layout. Yeah, so this is basically how the island looks, and I love how Frankie just basically just describes all of us, like the way Frankie says there's a big freaking hole in the ocean, and oh my god, that's basically the layout of this island. And it's basically this like really thin surface, and that's basically like balancing this particular island there. Like I'm so confused, like is there like no gravity in this particular like One Piece world? Like how is it happening? How is it that island is just floating there? So yeah, that was a weird thing. Like, and then the whole like this layout also, I find it very interesting, the way that Oda has kind of like created like different sections for this island, like how we have the, you know, main gate, then we have the island gate, then we have the courthouse, then Tower of Law, then the gates of justice. So we know that okay, this is where our characters are and this is where the other character is. So yeah, I think it was very interesting the way that it was done. And all of these like bridges, they have to be like manually, you know, raised, and then only you can cross these different sections. So yeah, I think I love that. I mean, of course it's like good for our crew because it gives us time so that they can just catch up. But I think when you read something like this, so yeah, when things are like revealed and yeah, okay, this is how the next part you have to cross, I think it just creates a lot of, you know, intrigue. And yeah, I mean, it was fun for me to read all of that. Okay, so it is basically like decided that our crew would like wait for like 5 minutes and the Galley-La people as well as the Frankie family would go ahead and they can try to like open the gate so that our crew doesn't have to fight and they can just directly concentrate on the fights with the CP9 members. But Luffy is just so impatient that he just cannot wait even 5 minutes and he just runs off on his own. And oh my god, I love this portion where Luffy is just like a one-man army. And when I was reading this, right, I was just thinking about KGF. Like, if you have seen that movie, like, yeah, I mean, the main character is literally just a one-man army. And that's what, like, I was thinking while reading this. And I was like, oh my god, Luffy, you're so impatient. And yeah, and then on this particular panel, I love how the Marines are like, there are 10,000 soldiers on Enies Lobby, and how many dozens of your cohorts did you bring? And Luffy's like, yeah, I'm by myself, get out of my way. And oh my god, I was just laughing at that point. And Luffy has beaten the shit out of Navy in this arc, and oh my god, that was so much fun. It was so much fun to read. So when our crew members are like, you know, they have to enter through the main gate, but then they see the main gate is like closed, and oh my god, then they just fly the sea train, and oh my god, it was so hilarious. Like, this arc is so hilarious, and I love the expressions of everyone, and then the expression of Zoro. Yeah, so everyone thinks that they're gonna die, and then there is Zoro who's like, just leave it to luck. Yeah, and then there is this another scene that I was just laughing at. And I love how Zoro is like, should we have introduced ourselves? And Sanji is like, don't be ridiculous. Of course not. I just love them. Like their banter, it's so much fun. Like, it's literally so much fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the King Bulls and how after they are like inside Enies Lobby, how helpful they were. Like, the way that they have carried our crew as well as the Frankie family people, it was so good. Like, these King Bulls, the way that Chopper was able to like communicate with them, because Chopper can understand their language, and the way that they tell us why they love Frankie so much, and how Frankie was kind of like the one who saved them from Sea Kings, and that's why Frankie has basically like raised them. And oh my god, Frankie is such a cool character. Like, oh my god, Frankie is amazing. And I also want to talk about the Galley-La Shipwrights, because oh my god, Polly and all the others from the Galley-La company, they are such amazing people, and they have so much loyalty for Iceberg and of course the Galley-La company, and they came here just so they can say to these 4 like CP9 members that you are fired. And they say this to Zoro, that yeah, relay our message to them. If Polly was not there, then none of them would be able to just get out of this island by the end. So yeah, kudos to Polly for that. I think he has done an amazing job in this particular arc. So yeah, the Galley-La people are also amazing. I really enjoyed them. Okay, so next up I want to talk about the giants, Oimo and Kashii. So these are the gatekeepers, and these giants are also like lied to by the world government, and they were told that yeah, these like Broggy and Dory are actually captured by the world government, and they're like, yeah, if you'll serve for us for like 100 years, then we'll let them go. And it is such a callback to the Little Garden arc, and I love that. I love how these things are like connected, and we are told about this. And of course, Usopp, when he learns about this, he knows that yeah, I mean, we have already met these giants, so they cannot be in jail, right? I mean, we have already met them. So you see, right, how horrible the world government is. Like, they are also like lying to these giants, these innocent giants, and they have basically been doing unpaid labor for past 50 years. And if let's say a crew never came here, then they would still be here for like 100 years. And yeah, the government is the biggest liar of this world. Like, yeah, they're the shittiest people. There is a line that Sanji says in this particular arc, which is, everyone cannot do everything. There are some things that some people can do, and then there are other things that others can do. And I think in this particular thing for Usopp, there are some things that only Usopp can do, and I think this is a great example of that, because Usopp has so much respect for like these giants and for Elbaf. He was able to like convey his feelings and kind of like get them on our side, whereas the others wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, I think it's very interesting. Okay, so yeah, so the fighting continues, and I loved how Spandam actually kind of like asked for report, and the way that he says, this may be a catastrophe, the likes of which we have never seen before in the entire history of Enies Lobby. So much fun. So yeah, but I just love how much terror we actually see on Spandam's face, and I just love seeing him like this because I just hate him. I just hate him so much. So yeah, so this is the panel where Luffy is just using his like gear too. This is what like Bluno has to say, that he's basically using the shave technique, and I like that Luffy can just like look at other people and the way that they attack, and then he can kind of make his body do that because he's made of rubber, so he can just control his body and his organs the way that he wants in a way. So yeah, which is brilliant. Like yeah, that's such a cool power, right? The way that Luffy says, Robin, come back, just leave the rest to us. And we see this page. Oh my god, literal goosebumps. And this is the point when we get the backstory of Robin. And oh my god, this is literally so emotional. And we finally understand what happened on Ohara and the Ohara incident. Oh my god, this is literally so sad. And I thought that Nami's backstory was sad. It actually reminded me of Nami's backstory, but it's even sadder. Like, oh my god, this is so sad. And then we see the 80-year-old Robin, and she is so sweet. Oh my god. Robin was left alone with her aunt when she was just 2, and her aunt used to just, ask her to do all the household chores. She was not loved very much in this household, and she didn't had a lot of friends because the children used to call her a monster because of her devil fruit powers. Now, we were not told how Robin actually get those powers, so I'm not sure when she got them. But yeah, I mean, it was just so sad to see like Robin being all alone, and the only place where Robin actually felt like she was accepted was the library. So yeah, so then we see this library, which is called as the Tree of Knowledge, Ohara Library and Archaeological Research Center. So I love the idea of like a tree of knowledge. So yeah, that was fun. And I loved how this is the only place where Robin actually feels like she's accepted and she's loved. And I love how 80-year-old Robin was able to become an archaeologist. Like, she gave the exam, she passed it, and now she's like, one of these people who are researching the history. And then we get this information that Robin actually wants to research the void in the history. And yeah, so then we get this information that there are these 100 years that nobody knows about, and nobody is allowed to actually research this because 800 years ago it was decided that it's a crime. So if you're going to just research about these like 100 years through these poneglyphs, then you will be actually arrested and you can actually just lose your life. So of course this Professor Clover just doesn't want Robin to just go and research because she's just a child, and he thinks that she can actually lose her life. So yeah, so Robin actually just runs off, and then she meets this particular like giant whose name is Saul, and then we get to know his full name, and his full name is Jaguar D. Saul. So yeah, which actually reminds me that Luffy also has a D in his name. So I know that there is some sort of significance, because there has to be, because everyone just keeps on saying, oh, you also have a D in your name. Interesting. Saul actually, laughs in a very peculiar way, the way that he says Diri shi, and he also asked Robin to just laugh in that way, and yeah, that was so sweet. I think I loved their bonding moments. He tells her that just go and just tell all these scholars that they should just run away, otherwise they'll be killed. And then we also meet the mother of Robin, who's Olvia. The world government was able to just pinpoint that, okay, so this is the place Ohara, and that's where these people live, and we are gonna go and just kill everyone because because they are researching something and they'll get some information, and then the world government will be in danger, right? Because they definitely think that they'll be in danger, so they must have a secret, a huge secret that they just don't want anyone to know about. So Spandam, who's basically the dad of Spandam, he's the one who's in charge. So this like Professor Clover actually, tells them that he wants to have a word with the elders, and he says that there is an existence of an immense kingdom. So basically these elders, they think that they have gotten a lot of information and now they are like very, very dangerous for the world government, and that's why they just kill Clover right there and then just start the Buster Call and then decide that every single person on this island has to die. It's either that there is some villain that's basically even powerful than the world government and that's why they are too scared, or they are the ones who are the biggest villain of this world and they just don't want people to know how they came in power. So I think it's the later one. I think that they are the villains and they have gotten power through some weird, shitty, shady things that they did, and they just don't want people to know that. We come to the most emotional part of this particular arc, and that is when Robin actually sees Olvia, and oh my god, it's so sad because it's very similar to when Nami and Belmere's interaction, because Belmere, was also like trying to protect Nami from Arlong, and she was, of course, Nami and Nojiko both, when she just tries to deny having, children. And here Olvia doesn't want to accept Robin because she's like, I don't want Robin to be called as the daughter of a criminal, and that's the reason that she doesn't want to accept Robin. But both of these mothers, because they are mothers, they just cannot see their child crying and calling for them and just not respond, and that's what we see here. And oh my god, this entire scene when Robin is like, please just don't leave me again, and she's like, I have become an archaeologist and I know about the history, I know about poneglyphs and I can read them, and she's just trying whatever that she can to just stop her mother. And oh my god, I really cried during this moment, especially this hug when Olvia finally accepts her. And I love this particular panel when Olvia is saying, live Robin, and Sol is the one who just takes her, and this is just so sad, but it actually tells you that if Robin is gonna live, then Ohara is gonna live in Robin. So through Robin, Ohara is also alive. So this whole idea, right? It's so sad, but I love this. When I read this, oh my god, I had tears in my eyes, and now also I'm feeling that sadness again, but I love this so much. And so they have basically just filled this lake with these books, and I don't know whether these books are gonna survive or not. I hope they do, so that someone can just go back and just learn about this history, because I just definitely want to get access to these books. Like, I hope someone gets access to these books. Aokiji was also there. He basically, tries to stop Sol. Like, even though Sol says that, do you think that this is a good thing that the Navy is doing all this, like what government is doing? So Aokiji also kind of, I think, doesn't actually 100% believes in what the world government is doing. So so that's why he lets Robin go. And oh my god, I did not expect that to happen. But I love how Sol says this thing: no one is ever born into this world completely alone. Run, Robin, don't look back. And when it's unbearable, remember what I taught you. Laugh like this. Somewhere out at sea, I know they're waiting. Go and find your friends, Robin. After you get the entire backstory, it just hits different, because now you're like, oh my god, these are the people who have come for her. Because once Robin actually, was able to get away, she got a bounty, and then whoever Robin has worked with, they have always betrayed her. They have always tried to get the bounty that's on her head, or just tried to kill her in a way, because everyone just believes that she should just not live. And I think over all of these years, this has kind of gotten to her, and that's why she just wants to die. Robin just says this thing, which is, someday it will become too much of a burden. Someday you'll betray me and cast me aside. And that's the reason why she doesn't want to come with them, because she loves them so much and she hates the idea that they are gonna leave her. So yeah, so this is the point when Spandam is like, yeah, just look at that symbol, pirates. It represents the unity of more than 170 nations allied across the 4 seas and the Grand Line. It represents the world. And to that, what Luffy does is, I totally get who Robin's enemy is. Sniper King! Shoot down the flag. Oh my god. And I love how Usopp doesn't even say what or anything. He just does it. He just shoots down and they literally burn the flag. Oh my god, this is another moment when I felt goosebumps. Oh my god. I was like, whoa, Luffy, whoa. And I love the reaction of Spandam the most, and the way he's like, are you crazy? You really think you can survive now that the entire world's your enemy? And Luffy's like, bring it on. I'm feeling it again, that oh my god, this was so powerful. And I love that Luffy did that, because I know whatever that he said with his word, it would have never reached Robin. And doing this reached Robin, because Luffy has basically said that we get it, Robin. The world government is after you. Now world government is my enemy as well. It is our enemy now. Oh my god, this was so powerful. Luffy is like, Robin, say that you want to live with this. And Robin is just thinking about, all of her past moments and how nobody has actually, let her think this way. And then she cries and says, I want to live. Take me to the sea with you. And that's Frankie crying over there. That's me. That's us, Frankie. Us. That's us. Oh my god. And just look at like everyone's reaction to that. And Luffy's, let's go. Oh my god. This I love this. I love this so much. And then after just learning everything, Frankie just burns the blueprint of Pluton. And oh my god, I was not expecting that this would happen. But I understand why he does this, because he's like, yeah, this particular weapon was created because Robin could actually, use her knowledge of the poneglyphs to actually get her hands on the other weapon, which I believe they are referring to Poseidon, because that's what we get. We get that, yeah, that's the other ancient weapon in like the Skypiea saga. And yeah, so Frankie is like, yeah, I don't want this weapon to go in the hands of Spandam, this idiot, and this like world government. I don't want this. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to bet on the Straw Hats and they're gonna take Robin away. Granny Kokoro comes with Gonbe, Chimney, and they just bring the Rocketman. And oh my god, they ask everyone to just jump, and then all of them, with of course Frankie, all of them jump on Rocketman and they just go into the Tower of Law. All of the CP9 members have one key, so they have to kind of like fight everyone so that they can get all the keys, and then they can kind of like go and protect Robin. Kalifa, who's fighting with Sanji, and yeah, that was like not much of a fight because Sanji just doesn't hit women. So yeah, so that was like extremely one-sided. But I love how Nami is the one who takes his place and she fights Kalifa and actually manages to defeat her, because she can use her like this climate baton, and I love how she was able to just figure out Kalifa's devil fruit powers and how she was using bubbles, and kind of like how Nami uses water and then the effects are not there anymore, and then she uses her mirages and then finally uses lightning and just defeats Kalifa. So yeah, so this whole thing fun, like really enjoyed it. So Chopper was basically the one who takes 3 rumble balls. So in this particular like state, he just does not remember who he's fighting and whether they are someone that he knows or not. So yeah, so he was in a very scary mode. But I loved how Frankie was the one who, after defeating his opponent, he was able to just, throw Chopper in the water so that he can just bring him back to his senses. So yeah, good thinking, Frankie, over there. Chimney and Gonbe were the one who told the real way to go after Spandam to Luffy as well. So Luffy uses like gear 3, where he becomes this like small guy, and then he's able to just, you know, punch that like steel door and just go through it to go after Spandam and Robin and of course Lucci. So yeah, I think Gonbe and Chimney were amazing in this arc. I think if they were not there, then everyone would be just so lost in this particular arc. And the way that Chimney also drew the directions for that like passageway, so that was also amazing. I think they were really good in this particular arc. And then we see this idiot Spandam is the one who actually triggers the Buster call accidentally, and Robin says that, don't you understand, all these people are gonna die. Buster call is going to destroy this entire island and every single marine is gonna die. And this guy has the audacity to say this: the military power of a generation is riding on this. I don't care how many soldiers it takes to stop these fools who are trying to save you. It doesn't matter how many thousands of people die. It's a small sacrifice for the future. Even the Marines hear this whole conversation and they think that, yeah, they're crazy, and they also like start running. So thank you so much, Robin, for doing that. So at least we were able to save a lot of Marines by this. Besides, my promotion is riding on this. He's basically saying that, yeah, he's going to just let all these people die, and capturing Robin is his priority because he's gonna get a promotion. So you just get, these are the kind of people who have power in this world. Yeah. And oh my god, I just love how Sanji was able to just, get this new technique as well, which is called this Diable Jambe. I guess, yeah, that's how it's pronounced. Oh my god, I just love how he just, spins and then he kicks with this like foot, which is actually like red. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how that happens and what he does, but what a cool power. Like, I loved it. I loved watching this. Okay, and for Zoro also get a power up, and he uses his demon aura 9-sword style Asura. Oh my god. And Zoro has 3 heads and 6 arms. So yeah, I mean, I don't actually understand what happened here. Like, is it like actually he has those 6 arms and 3 heads, or is it just a vision? I think it's a vision, but I love this. Like, it was so cool, and when you look at it in the anime also, so damn cool. So yeah, and Luffy is fighting Lucci, and that's when Lucci says that you are using this gear 2 and gear 3 and this is actually shortening your lifespan, and Luffy is like, I don't care. So I just hope that he can do something about this ability. But yeah, I think Luffy is basically willing to just literally die for his crewmates, and that says a lot about him. Like, oh my god, he's so good. Robin is basically dragged. That's the point when we see Usopp. So Usopp has basically hit from the Tower of Law on this Bridge of Hesitation, and he was able to hit and kind of like hit Spandam from that particular distance. And if you know, in the last arc, Usopp was just struggling and he thinks that he's the weakest and he won't be able to just help the crew. But with this particular panel and with this particular moment, it describes us that yes, there is a place for Usopp in this crew, because there are some things that nobody else can do. It's only Usopp who can do these things, and I love that. And this panel where Frankie is just standing there in front of Robin and taking all the, the attacks on him just to protect Robin, it just shows you how much he cares. And yeah, Frankie is just so good. Oh my god, I love him. And I just can't even believe that this is the guy who was the reason for the whole conflict with Usopp because of whatever that he did to Usopp, and now how he's willing to put his life on the line for our crew. So yeah, I want Frankie in the crew. I want Frankie to be the carpenter for our crew because of how amazing he is. So yeah, this is also another scene that I just loved when the passageway was like flooded. So we see Kokoro, who's basically a mermaid, and she goes in her mermaid mode and she just saves everyone. And I love how Sanji is like, she's a mermaid? How does mermaid look like this? And yeah, so it was funny. It was really funny. And yeah, so basically there is this like evacuation ship that Robin and Frankie are on. So yeah, so basically Granny Kokoro takes everyone over there and everyone is fine. Navy people are like, yeah, we are gonna just crush you with our Elite 200. And that's when Luffy finally uses his attacks and is able to defeat Lucci. So yeah, so the Navy being Navy, they actually just burn their escape ship. So even though Luffy has defeated Lucci, now they just don't have any way to get out of this island and they'll just probably die. So like all hope is lost. And this is the point where the biggest thing in this particular arc happens, and oh my god, this is the point where they start hearing a voice which just asks them to just look down and then jump. And I love how everyone is just crying because they all have like understood that they have another crewmate, and Mary goes like, I came for you. Now at this particular moment when they needed it the most, it came back. Oh my god, I know that it just doesn't make a lot of sense, like, but just look at the emotions. It's so good. Like, oh my god, I literally cried during this time. Like, oh my god, I did not expect that this would happen. And when this happened, oh my god, it was so good. You know, we see all of these ships and they all are like trying to attack the merry-go. So yeah, so Sanji came back and then he says, we weren't gonna make it out with hard work alone. And I love that. And I love how Sanji is the one who uses his brains. So when Zoro and all the other crew members are kind of like thinking about fighting, Sanji would always come up with creative solutions that can help them get out of situations. And this is like a perfect example that because of those currents, of those like whirlpools, these people cannot aim at our ship very well, which actually helps us in getting out of this place. So yeah, I mean, this is so cool because our navigator is also so amazing that she is able to understand, okay, so this is the current that we have to follow and we'll be able to get out of this place. I just love how Spandam is just losing it in these panels, and he's like, why can't we take one single woman from some measly pirates? That's when Robin is like, you know what, I'm done with you, you stupid guy. And she just kills him in this particular panel, and he was taking it too far and he deserves to die. And I was so happy that he was dead. Like, thank you so much, Robin. You just literally did all of us a favor by killing him. Frankie just basically just uses his attack and then they were able to just get away. Like, our ship is just flying and they're able to just get out. This was such a good page as well, where we see Aokiji and he's like, this incident was a complete and utter defeat. All of us are like so happy and like, we won the fight. So what a nice way to just celebrate. Frankie family and the Galley-La people, and of course the giants as well as the bulls, all of them were able to get out of this particular island through the sea train as well. So kudos to everyone. Nobody died. Everyone was safe and they all make it out of this place alive. We finally meet the Galley-La company ship, and that is Iceberg and the Galley-La people. They all have come. Our ship, it's literally just falling apart. This is the point where Luffy says that please just do something about the ship. I love how Iceberg says, right now I'm seeing a miracle, the miracle of a ship that has gone far beyond its limit. I've been a shipwright for many years, but I've never seen a pirate ship as incredible as this one. It lived a splendid life. And then he says everyone ready, and everyone is crying, and Luffy and of course all the crew members just say their last goodbye to this particular ship and says, Mary, the sea floor is dark and lonely, so we are going to see you off. And then they're just burning the ship, and Luffy says, you carried us for a long time. Thank you, Merry-Go. And I love how it starts snowing over there at this particular point, and everyone is just crying and kind of thinking about their moments with the ship. Like, the ship cares about the crew and the crew cares about the ship, and they both are kind of sorry. The last thing that Merry-Go says, even so, I was happy. Thank you for caring about me. I was truly happy. And then everyone cries. I cried while reading this and then I'm crying again, but oh my god, this ending, I can't say that I ever thought that I would ever cry for a ship, but Oda has made me cry for a ship. And just thinking about this arc again is just making me cry. But what a send-off. I think this was literally the best that we could do for the ship, and we did it, because the way that it was done in Water 7 was not the correct way. But even though it's sad, but I'm happy that we did this for the ship. And yeah, I mean, now we are obviously gonna go back to the Water 7 island, and it's gonna be the post Enies Lobby Arc that we are gonna see. And yeah, this was like such a perfect end for this particular arc. So overall, I'll say that it's so emotional. It has so many amazing moments. I loved it. I love it so much. And I'm so thankful to all the people who have asked me to read this series, because otherwise I would have never felt this way. So thank you so much. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Take care.